Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here, this time reviewing on issue 31 of the Image Comics of Transformers. Now, we're pretty much on issue 31, that is going to take place after the events of Megatron's counterattack on the Ark, and him now going through another sort of moment from his whole syphilis trial. And the cover mainly has Megatron looking all badass, so let's get on with the story. It starts off on the Nemesis in the Decepticon stronghold. We see how characters like Soundwave, Skywarp, the Constructicons and that are trying to hold Megatron down. And this is Megatron going through another trial. This is like playing another game where you're stuck on the next level, saying, "I have done all you have asked of me. Release me. I command it." "You do not command. He." "Submit. What more am I expected to do?" And of course, this is Desimir and that wanting to take back the Matrix of Oppression, which of course is meant to be like the Decepticon Matrix of Leadership. And of course, they basically dismantle Megatron and leave him as a talking head, saying, "You forsake my gift. I do not. That form was meant to control whoever wields it. In my moment of triumph, Starscream defied my will. Your gift was flawed. I refuse it." But of course, we see right away has to kind of fully submit before it can be fully controlled. And right away, we see the Matrix of Oppression activating, and also inside is the past Decepticon leaders, which also shows how other Decepticons had wielded the Matrix of Oppression, and like how Trailbreaker's there, so hinting that elements of Trailbreaker's programming or his essence is in there, trying to study and analyze more about Megatron. And right away, we see how the voice says, when you're called upon, they can grant you their strength, will, and aggression. In needs of time, these are the gifts on offer. And we see how Megatron decides, obviously, to demand more and go through more trials, dealing with Sharkticons, past leaders, more Desimirs, and everything getting thrown at him. And we see right away, after finally going through his final trial, saying, "Stop! I accept your terms. I cannot bear another trial. Excellent. Come to me." "What? Where?" And right away, we see how Megatron ends up in an unknown place with the Decepticon logo. And as soon as he goes in, he thinks he's going through another trial. But of course, tries to take out whatever's that he's dealing with. And of course, Megatron saying, "I was through with the trials." But right away, we see Megatronus Prime, aka the Fallen, saying, "Then bow before Megatronus Prime. Send your will to mine and accept the trial, the true power of the Matrix of Oppression." And of course, Megatron being quiet, but also Megatronus saying to choose your next actions wisely. But we see how Megatron comes to accept his terms, and of course this is like making a deal with the devil. It's much like Primal with the Chieftain accepting the offer, and of course saying, "You will walk my path. I will walk your path." And right away we see Megatron now back to normal, saying, "I yield." And right away, he ends up being crystallized in a sort of special cocoon. And we also see how the other Decepticons wonder what he's changing into, which either implies that it's going to be Galvatron or some new sort of power form that's going to make him more powerful. And this is the story. So I think my best thoughts about issue 31, it's not a bad issue, but it's there to set the game changing completely different. Like Optimus no longer having the Matrix, Elita 1 also becoming a Prime, and Megatron finally meeting Megatronus and accepting the deals, offer, and terms of the Matrix of Oppression, showing how, yeah, even though you might have ended one threat, new dangers, new problems, new troubles, and new sort of situations you are going to be forced to deal with in the next parts of your life or similar situations. It's not a bad issue, not the best, but it's still an alright story, so it still deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, kind of okay, just there to set things up after issue 30, and also we know right away Megatron is going to be more bigger, badder, and a bigger dangerous threat than he was before. So, Comic Book Reviewer here, signing out.